No.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
So maybe I must be pressing gingerly.
It's recording, y'all. Bridgie Bridge. Okay, we're not on Facebook, I don't think. Let me see. I'm going to wake up the. I know we're not supposed to be talking on here, but I have to see what's going on. It's almost 7, so let me check this out. Can you try again, Denise? Because we're not.
Yeah, I just did. Yeah, it's
All right, pass me the host, and then we're gonna let folks in on Zoom, and then I'll bridge us in if you give me the host, and I'll give you co-host for the rest of the session. And Gina, let me make sure that I rename you. Keep you at the top. Did you pass it?
yeah. You have host.
All right, wonderful.
Did not have permission to go live.
No problem. Let me let the Facebookers in, and I'll do the bridge.
The Facebookers or the Zooms?
The Facebookers, because you can't do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? All right, so I need to take this down. Y'all forgive me. But I have to go to the actual social media verbiage and get this piece so that we can get in this space. We was doing so well.
I know.
Man.
We're good. We're good.
This, sometimes the bridge, I can't get over to the dots.
You want me to put it here in the chat?
No, I got it. I just had to take the slide down so I could see the social media verbiage. Otherwise, it blocks it sometimes, and I don't want to risk that while we were bringing people in. But I'm almost there, y'all. Be on the lookout.
Okay.
Say hey.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. We are live. We're live on Facebook. Welcome to day 644 of the Wake Up Everybody movement. Good morning. Good morning. I am Gina Leito-Diouf. I'm the owner and operator of Sankofa Sojourns, where we travel and transform to heal racial trauma. But today, we're going to talk about something else. We're going to talk about some mind games, but the good kind. So what you'll need for this session today is a pen, a notebook, just in case you want to write some things down. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Brother Adam is up in the house.
Peace and blessing, Miss Gina.
Good
And the Wake Up
morning.
family, love y'all.
Mama Tisa, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Gina. How you doing this morning?
I am wonderful. It's good to see you again. Good to see you. How are you?
Every day is a good day.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I'm unable to see everybody's name. So if you want to come on camera, I can see your face and I can see who's in this place today. You don't have to stay on camera if you're shy, but if you're here, good morning, good morning, good morning. And if you're not ready for camera, I understand. It's 7 o'clock. But welcome to day 644 of the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. So we're going to be talking mind games today, things that we can do to keep our minds sharp and agile. I'll see you after the music.
Wake up everybody, it's time to get up. Wake up everybody, it's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, it's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome again to the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. So, once again, I am Gina Leito-Diouf, and I'll be here with you this morning discussing mind games. So, but the good kind. Remember, we're not going to play tricks on each other. We're going to we're going to play tricks with our minds so that we can stay sharp. Okay, so I have a few notes here. Now, if we remember, if you were here on Sunday, Coach Sahu Speed led an awesome conversation about one of the things that we talked about was agility. She mentioned being agile in the body and us recommitting and reconnecting to our bodies and our agility and taking care of ourselves was part of her topic. If you missed it, I highly recommend that you watch it on the replay. It was powerful and it was fun too. And you'll see some things that maybe you've never seen. But so we talked about being agile or agile. You can say it either way, and I may say it both ways, okay, depending on my mindset at the moment. So she talked about things that we can do to keep our bodies agile. So we looked up the definition. I looked up the definition for you, and Webster's or Merriam-Webster's definition is marked by ready ability to move with quick, easy grace. Marked by ready ability to move with quick, easy grace is the definition of agile. So that sounds wonderful. And that sounds like something that we all need to, if we have it, we need to maintain it. And if we don't have agility, we need to become agile. We know that we talked about agility in the body, but we can also become agile with our mind, with our brain, okay? Can we show the first slide?
Absolutely.
Because we also have, on the flip side of agile or agile, you have fragile or fragile. Now, fragile means easily broken or destroyed. So we can be agile or we can be fragile. And then the choice is really up to us. Now, I'm sure we want to be agile and not fragile. A quick note, when I was looking up, because I like to get the definitions, like what is the official definition, not just what do I know that this word means. And the example for fragile, you know how the dictionary gives you like using it in a sentence, it said a fragile old lady. And I thought that was just very rude. And I thought that was very societal, very social structure way of taking this word and applying it to a whole segment of people, because that is how you hear that. That is how you hear that expression. Oh, she was fragile, very fragile, you know. And so we don't want to have fragility. We want to have agility. So can you put a 1 in the chat? Put a 1 in the chat if you've been told to expect things to go downhill as you age. To expect things, you know, once you reach, I remember once my uncle told my niece when she was, 16, beautiful, just all that. And she said, look, Uncle Mel, look at me, how great I look. She was feeling herself. And he said, that's okay. You're a Macmillan. When you turn 40, you're going to go boom and explode. So this is sort of the things that we learn about aging. And I see a bunch of 1s popping up in the chat. So yes, this is something very common that we've been taught, by society, sometimes by our families, sometimes in school, just in general, that as we age, it's going to go downhill. I look at it as, when you're a baby, you're born, you're down here in the valley and everything is possible up there. And then you start getting stronger and you're making your way up that hill, and you got to be strong to go uphill, don't you? It takes muscles. It takes work to go up a hill. So that's when you're growing and you're getting stronger. And then you get what we call grown. And it's sort of like everything just levels off and you don't have to do anything. You just kind of coast along because you're grown. And then you start to get old, is what they call old. And that's what we say, over the hill. You go over the hill and start going downhill. And it's sort of like just a slide on down to the end. So let me hear from you. If you've, been told these things about aging, let me hear some of the things that people have said to you or that you've learned in life about what to expect when you get older. And anybody willing to share? And I know this is the woo community, so I know there's people willing to share.
All right, Soa, Omen, and Terry unmuted. I don't know if that means you want to share. Terry,
You
you
can
ready?
raise your digital hand then so we can know if you want to share. Raise your digital hand.
Well, I'll start us off. And after, when we were doing a debrief over the last few days, I was talking about how I definitely want to make sure I'm taking care of my body now. I think I was talking to Sahu Speed and the other admin person. And I was saying taking care of my body now will create the future body, the agile body, flexible body, the strong body. And I was concerned about not having my children or grandchildren have to take care of me in a state that requires them to exert a lot of energy and time. And then someone in the space was like, oh, your body starts to break down as you age. It's just inevitable. And so I was just thinking about that processing that, because the women in my family live a long time, like triple digits. So so that was on my mind for sure. And I think about it a lot. Since I've entered my 50s, I'm real conscious of what my body is doing and what I do with my body. So yeah, that's very present for me as I age.
Okay, thank you, Shawnee. And we all have that too. Like we all know, we hear the stories of your body is going to break down. That's just part of aging. But we also know people who are living to be 100, 105. We're about to celebrate. We celebrated, right, 105th birthday of a friend of my mother's. She's going to have a party on Saturday. She's 105. So we do know people who live long, and we know people who we're on another meeting with Valerie Lyons, and if you haven't seen her presentations or her joyful conversations, you should look her up on YouTube and look her up on the Woo. And she has a friend, a neighbor, and I believe her neighbor is maybe 91 or 92, vibrant, beautiful, not at all on a downhill slide, in her 90s. So we know that that's not true, that it's not just a foregone conclusion that you're going to get older and things are going to fall apart. Okay. So do we have things? I see the chat is popping. Do we have anything that people want to share?
So Denise, it's up to you. You can read the Facebook comment. I'll roll up and see what the other ones are.
So from Facebook, Candace stated that she has an auntie that is always complains about her health and tells her that I'm going to suffer like her when I'm old. She's been saying that since we were 6 and 30 years old. So she's been saying it for her whole life, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also saw that there was a hand up with Terry, so I don't want to skip over that. We can come back to it. So my sister Joy said, I think about that a lot. But these days now you get older and you can look amazing and look younger. That's right, sissy. I think about the grandmas from when I was growing up and what they look like and how they dress, and the grandmas now. I'm a grandma now, but people are like, you're a grandma? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm a Gigi. Yeah, and I'm like, we could be fly as we want to be, for sure.
Exactly.
And Zakia said it doesn't have to be inevitable. And others are saying, you saw all the ones in the space. And then, like I said, Terry had her hand up, and then so did Rachel. So Terry, you still want to speak?
Sure.
Okay.
Some of the myths that I was told was you're going to fall apart, You're going to be senile. You're going to need somebody to take care of you, just to name a few. But the flip side is that I have some of the flyest women. And I think once a year, Ebony puts out a group of women who are like 70 plus, who be rocking it. And I want to be one of those.
That's right. That's right. And there's no reason you won't be, right? You just got to get into your 70s, and that's it. You'll be there. And today we're going to talk some more about how we're going to get there. Now, we all know what to do to keep our bodies agile, right? We know you have to eat properly. You need proper nutrition. We know you need hydration. You got to drink your water. You have to rest your body. You have to relax from time to time. And you have to move. You have to move. Okay. And okay. So we can come back to Rachel in a couple of seconds.
Okay, no problem.
Rachel, you'll be up next. So listen for the next question and you'll share. And we have to move our bodies every day. We know that with the body, to stay agile, it's a move it or lose it type of thing, right? So you got to keep that body moving. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the brain, okay? Our minds, because we want to keep them agile as well. Now I'm going to make a disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not a brain expert. I am just on a mission to become an expert on me. And I need to know all about me, all my different parts, how they work, and try to keep them, keep them in optimal condition. So I need to know how things go with me. So I'm always interested in learning more about my body, my brain. So one of the things that I did was study yoga, a brain wave yoga, for a couple of years. And so we know that the brain is amazing. It is really amazing. That's a whole nother woo session, just talking about the brain and all the things that it can do. But what we do know is that it's made up of cells, like everything. And I hate to keep harkening back to Sunday, but you really should watch it if you didn't see it. But, we learned about the billions and billions of cells that are made up, that our body's made up of. And that we get cells overturning all the time. Okay, so these cells in the brain has a couple of different kinds of cells. We're going to talk about neurons today. We're going to talk about neurons. And those are cells that just do the work in the brain. The neurons are sort of messenger cells. They take messages around your brain. Okay, so you can have all the thoughts you want, but they have to move to different parts of the brain so that they can become actions. Okay, can we show the next slide, please? So we know that there are these neurons, so that's a word that maybe you know, maybe you don't. And so we're going to talk about how these neurons, regenerate. So I put up here, neurogenesis. So just break up the word neuro. We know neurons are cells, brain cells, and genesis. We know genesis meaning the beginning of something being generated. So neurogenesis is how brain cells get created anew. So we've heard a lot, people always say, oh, I'm losing brain cells. Oh, I'm getting old, I'm losing brain cells. But you also are getting brain cells. You're getting new ones every single day through a process called neurogenesis. That's how adults get new brain cells. I think it's a little bit different when you're born, your brain cell creation and things like that. But as adults, that's what we do. So you might lose some, but you also will get some. So every day is a fresh start. Every single day is a fresh start. You are brand new every day. Don't make me sing, but can you feel the brand new day? That song from The Wiz, but that's life. That's really where we are. Okay. So now, Rachel, tell me some things we can do to keep our brains and our minds agile.
Well, what came up for me when we were speaking about that, and even earlier, was what you hear indirectly, something that's not even spoken to you directly. When you hear somebody say, my mind's all over the right place, I'm getting older, you know what I mean? And in my head, I'm just saying, maybe you should take the time to do some healing. Maybe you should take the time to eliminate some caffeine. Maybe you should take the time to, do the things that trigger our emotions being all over the place. So just even indirectly, you hear it. My body hurts, my knees hurt. I can't even walk up and down the steps. I'm getting older. I'm like, you're 53. You're not old. You are beautiful, graceful, like awesome, right? And that's because I'm going to be 45 and my sister's going into 50. And all she does is complain about her body hurting. And I don't doubt it. I just know that there's a certain diet in her life. She smokes cigarettes. There's certain things that you put in your body that are going to contribute to you being all over the place, mentally and physically. And I am complete.
Thank you, Rachel. That was powerful. I'm waiting for your woo session.
Thank you.
But that is true. Like, there's so many things that we feed our minds. That self-talk, our self-talk is so powerful. And we know that. We know the things that we say to ourselves. Those are the ways that we're programming our brain. It could, like I said, that's another woo session. But you're programming your brain with is something called neurolinguistics. Okay. And so the way that you speak, the way that you speak out, the way that you speak in is creating pathways for us to create things actually to manifest in our lives, things to manifest in our bodies, things to manifest, that we can actually see and live. And you want to be happy right inside your own life. Like, you want to be content in your life. You don't want to have to go out of your life to do things. It's great to be with people and go on vacations and go to parties and do things. That's fantastic. I love it. But you also want to be happy just living your day to day. And your self-talk will help you get there. But your self-talk can also turn things against you in your own life. But again, that's another woo talk, and we'll see. So if anyone else can share just some of the things that they know of to keep their brains agile and keep your mind agile, some things that you can do.
Hey, Gina, Jim from Facebook said we can do crossword puzzles, paint, crafting to keep our brains agile as well.
Yes, thank you, Jim. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
And Teresa has her hand up. Do you want to go there?
Yes, please.
Okay, wonderful. Teresa?
One of the things that I've been doing is to counteract the negativity is just keep on just saying some beautiful stuff to yourself. I forgot this doctor, but this doctor was saying that when we speak negative stuff to us, that actually like our brain cells start deteriorating. So I'm gonna look for her name and put it in Wake Up, so we can just look at it, because she has videos about it, and she was just saying that you can actually heal your brain cells. So like whatever negative stuff that you spoke, and make the brain cells start going back. So all the negative stuff that you spoke to yourself, it actually your brain cells start deteriorating from that. And it's a science. She's a doctor, so she's a scientist. So she was saying, but if you speak like healing back to yourself and just telling yourself beautiful things about yourself, that your brain cell can get healed and that your body will start, working and operating in a different place. So, that has been working for me, especially like when I'm like going through different things, I might feel some negative, like, no, no, and I'll speak out loud to myself. So, I'll speak out loud and say, no, even if someone says something to me, what I've been doing is like, you know what, I'm sorry, but excuse me, but I have to cancel what you just said about me, because I'm not receiving, and no disrespect to anyone, but I just not going to take in everything that anyone says to me. So I'll just say, I cancel what you just said. I cancel that statement. They be looking like I'm crazy, but it's okay, because I'm not receiving, that negativity.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mama T. Then that's it. You don't have to take it in. You don't have to take it in from other people, and you certainly don't have to give it to yourself. And I'll just quickly give you a quick tip. Like I said, I did take I'm not an expert in yoga, or Dawn yoga is what it was called. But one of the tips that we learned was when you get your negative self-talk, and when you're in one of those cycles of just, oh, I'm so this, or I'm not even going to give you examples. You know what you say. Stop what you're doing, take a deep breath, hold it, let it out. Do that 3 times. and then gently shake your head. Literally shake your head and change your mind. Change your mind, place a new thought in there and shake your head and get that thought out of there. Okay. These are some of the things that we can do in the moment when things are just like, oh my goodness, and you start overwhelming yourself with negativity. Yes, like you said, Teresa, in the video that you saw with the doctor, you can recreate new brain cells. And that's exactly right. That's what we know the process for it, right? Neurogenesis. New brain cells get created. So yes, you may have said some things, you may have done some things, you may have smoked some things, you may have took some things, you may have done some things to those brain cells, but you're getting new ones. So don't re-damage them. And also, likewise, don't beat yourself up. Once every day you get a new start, leave those old things alone that you used to say to yourself. Leave those in yesterday. Don't bring them into today. Once you've processed through them, then you got to remember not to bring them with you because you've healed from them. As Rachel said, you got to do some healing. You have to do some healing. And by healing, it means, it's a process that you have to work at. For me, I can speak personally, every day. It's a process I work on every day. It's not that I feel like, all right, I'm done, I'm healed, I'm good. I don't have to do any more work. I don't know, because I'm only 54. But I think that that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, working on healing and staying well. So we need to keep our brains agile so we can do that. So yes, some of the things that we can do are, crossword puzzles, as Jem shared. But can we show the last slide?
Absolutely. Hold on one second.
You also have Coach Who Speaks hands up.
Okay.
And as you shared the last slide, Candace also said reading articles and books, real paper. We have gotten to a society that we want quick fix, and we've gotten used to being lazy, but really using all of our mind cells.
Absolutely. Yes. Real paper. As I did in the last Woo session, reading is fundamental, and reading from actual books. It's fine to read on your tablet or phone when you're on the go, but when you're actually like resting, relaxing, and trying to enjoy yourself, get the actual book. Get into a relationship with an actual paper book, not just a device. Okay. Okay. You said Coach Sahu Speed had her hand up?
Yes.
Yes, please. If she would share.
Great day, everyone. Hey, Gina.
Hey.
Yeah, I've been doing a Facebook and then trying to convert back to the Zoom. So some days I'm good, some days I'm not. Today I was good. All right. So yes, what a wonderful topic. I knew you were going to talk about this. You mentioned it to me, and I just wanted to come on later to make sure that you got all your props with everything. So it's just so nice to see that we are on one accord. And I also just like seeing the whole Woo community just moving along and doing the next thing. So big ups to everybody. Big ups to the community. Big ups to Sister Gina. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. And you took the Dawn Yoga. Oh, my girlfriend, that is fantastic. If no one's taken Dawn Yoga, please check it out. Dawn Yoga, Gina, that's so beautiful. Dawn Yoga combines body, mind, and spirit movement. It's fantastic. And the brain too. There's actually a part in Dawn Yoga when they shake your head back and forth. And so in the morning when I'm doing the body activism, and if you're with me, you see me shaking my head and everything. So just shaking the brains up. It's like our bodies are fantastic. It's like something that we can sleep on, right, Gina? We can sleep on it.
Absolutely.
and we do sleep on it, right? Every night, right?
We
But
do.
we can also sleep on it figuratively, is that right? And literally. And so, Gina, thank you for bringing this, the agility versus fragility. I mean, all of that is so good, so good. Thank you for keeping it in front of us so that we can see it and not skip over this fantastic body that we have. I just wanted to come on and just give you some props and the community. Because all the answers everyone says, and the question is, are we going to do it? and activate it and keep those things going. And I'll see you at 125 at when we're both 125 years old. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Coach, and thank you for being a cheerleader for all of us. Thank you. Yes, so yes, we do. We love you, Coach Sahu Speed. So yeah, so we can look at some of the things that we can do, and so we did share. And Dawn Yoga is DAHN, Dawn Yoga. Okay, so that's a practice that is, it's a Korean practice of, like Coach Sahu Speed said, it's a mind, body, spirit. It's sort of a combination of martial arts and traditional yoga, and it's very powerful. And if you can find it, and you can do it online, and there's a lot of stuff on YouTube, Dawn Yoga. So if it's something that you're interested in, it's there for you, and I do highly recommend it personally. So let's talk about some of the games people play. Some of the, don't make me sing about games people play. Okay, so the games that we can play to keep our minds agile. So yes, crossword puzzles, absolutely. Jigsaw puzzles, wonderful. These are all things that keep the brain moving and active and having to figure things out. Word search puzzles. I brought a couple of things, the word search, when you find a word, these are things that you might say, oh, that's basic and that's elementary, but it's keeping your brain agile. So you're not sitting in front of a television or sitting on your screen, on your phone. You're actually with paper and pencil. I recommend a pencil to get started, but when you want to challenge yourself, you're going to be doing it with a pen, but keeping your brain agile so that it can keep firing on all cylinders. We have, card games. Now, in our community, I'm not sure about everybody's community, but I do know what we do in the Black community. And we play cards. We play cards hard. And we take our cards seriously. But those card games that we play are things that we can do to keep our brain active. If you're playing, even as a child, I remember starting out with playing concentration. Well, you have to remember, where was that card? And go back and forth with your cards and your friends. And you have to keep track of things on the board. So that's good for the brain. If you have, if you've played whist or spades, things where you have to think, you have to estimate, you have to assess, and you have to project what you're going to do. And then you have to strategize. Poker, you have to, strategize and bet and bid. I know people have different beliefs about gambling. I know I am not a gambler, but I do enjoy cards. And a lot of times I will sit and play solitaire. And not on my phone, not necessarily just sit on your phone. I like to hear the pop, pop, pop of the cards when I shuffle that deck. I like to feel the paper in my hands. That's good for my brain. That's tactile. And that's also how I speak to my brain, by touch. So the actual playing of the cards, the shuffling, the dealing, all of these things, you're paying attention, spatial awareness. So playing cards is definitely something that keeps the brain active, and if you think about it, I know for me, I can sit as a child and think of a lot of my great grandmother's friends sitting around a card table and playing cards. So they weren't saying, well, I'm too old to play cards. I'm too old to win and beat you under the table in this game. I will play this game and I will beat you at it, and strategizing and actually keeping track of things and winning, and not necessarily being young people, being people who we would consider elders, but still having agile minds. Agile minds. I know in the Latino community, I've seen a lot of times people playing dominoes. Now, dominoes, I had to learn how to play dominoes because I didn't know, but like the fire that goes on at a dominoes table made me want to know what's going on over there. What is that? They're slapping things down, they're making your pow and things. So that is also good for the brain. That's keeping the mind active. You play these games, you do these things, and these are all games that we can play. It's fun. And my favorite, reading books, like Coach Candace said, and reading actual paper book, for fun. Like we read a lot of heavy things. I'm sure a lot of us in the Woo community do a lot of reading to learn new things. Like I said, I like to always learn about who I am and what I am and how my body works and how my mind works. But sometimes I like to just sit down and read a book. I think I'm reading Nine Perfect Strangers by Liane Moriarty, just for fun and relaxation, not, for any particular goal, except just to just have some fun and just have a little escapism, a little relaxation, because we do have to relax our minds. So just like our bodies, our minds need proper nutrition, proper hydration. They need rest, they need exercise. So the same thing. So we do these things. And the last thing I wanted to share with us is Sudoku. So Sudoku is a game which I'm not really sure where it came from, because I always thought it was Japanese, but then when I started reading up on it, it's sort of different theories, and some say, no, it's not Japanese. It's just the Japanese people really enjoyed it. And so they kind of launched it to the world, but that is just a game that's been around for years. So Sudoku is a puzzle, is a mind game, and it's something that you can do. And you may have been years ago, when we used to ride the trains before the pandemic, you might ride the train and see people sitting there with their pencil and their Sudoku book, and they're filling out a grid that looks something like this. And you're going, what are they doing? So I'm just going to read to you Sudoku. I just want to introduce it. You may already know about it, but if not, I advise you to give it a try, So the rules are simple, okay? Each puzzle is a 9x9 grid of squares divided into 9 3x3 square blocks, with some of the squares filled in for you. So you'll look in a Sudoku grid and it's already some numbers filled in. The object is to fill in the blank squares in such a way that each of the numbers 1 to 9 appears exactly once in each row. In each row will be 1 to 9 at least one time. Each column will be 1 through 9, and each block will be 1 through 9. So it's some thinking going on when you're playing Sudoku, and it's a lot of fun. So these are just some of the things. And I mean, I went to the store where everything is $1.25 and got these things, and we also were able to find some things in larger print, if that makes it easier for you, but these are some games that you can play. And of course, I'm sure you got a deck of cards in your house. And if you don't, you can get a beautiful deck of cards, if you know anybody who sells ethnic expressions, because I bought a beautiful deck of cards with beautiful Black history cards. But anyway, that's another commercial. But you can do these mind games. They're fun and they keep your brain agile. And that's the goal, right? To keep it fun and keep your brain agile. Okay. So I'm just checking my notes, make sure I covered everything. And that's it. So let's just we don't want our minds playing tricks on us. So let's play some mind games to keep our minds agile as we age. As we said, as Coach Southspeed said, so we can, at 125, still be as sharp as we are right now. So have some fun, use your brain, stay agile. All
Hey,
right.
Gina, can I jump in?
Yes.
Okay, am I on camera on? Okay, so my son's birthday is July 4th, and he turned 36. So we were at his party, and he has 2 boys. They're 10 and 12. Okay, so we're at his party outside, right? And I'm the game woman. So my family, we play games I don't care what it is. We got a game. We got a hula hoop game. We got games, right? So I'm bringing all my games, right? And my daughter's like, hey, Mom, just wait. Don't put them in yet. Let everybody get settled. And they doing this and they doing that. Just wait a second, just wait. So I was like, an hour went by, 2 hours went by. I'm like, okay, can I bring my games out now? Come on. So then she's like, okay. I started to bring some games out and stuff. So this is what happened. All my son's friends, right, and my daughter's friends, they're closer in age, right? They're there doing their thing, right? So then I bring out my games. Nobody grabs my games at the time. My daughter goes inside, gets my son's Uno cards, right? He has a deck of Uno cards. And when they eat, in the summertime, when they eat, my son plays Uno with his sons and his fiance. They sit around the table, they're eating their lunch and they're whatever they're eating, and they're playing Uno at the same time, right? So my daughter goes and gets those, and she comes out and she brings them to everybody. She says, hey, anybody want to play Uno? So my grandsons, I call them my boys, they jump up, yeah, we're in. And her friends are like, what? Like, where'd they come from? Where'd they come from? And so then they sit down, and before they get ready to play, my grandboys, they start asking, okay, are we doing this? Are we doing that? Are we playing this way? Are we playing this version? And so people start looking at them, and so guess what happens? The people get their cards, and there's two people sitting next to them. A husband and a wife are sitting in between them. They're holding their cards so close to their chest, and their face is so serious. And I was like, are we playing Uno or are we playing Bid Whist? They're like, I know we're not playing Bid Whist. We playing Uno. I said, but what's going on with y'all? And so my friend's husband goes, listen, I see that these two on both sides of me, they're experts, and I'm just going to try to get in the game. I know I'm not going to win because I get that these are masters, right? And then his wife is like, you're going to be all right, boo. And you know what she does? She doesn't say a word. She doesn't say a word the whole game. She's just like, they're like, what's that word? They're traumatized. They're traumatized by my two grandboys who are 10 and 12. And so my friend's wife came in first because she didn't say a word. You forgot she was playing. And then my two grandboys came in second and third. And she was like, but I won. I said, yeah, but you were terrorized. It was so
Right.
funny.
And
So
you
there
almost
go.
lost the
Age.
10-year-old and the 12-year-old because
Yes.
they're strategizing because
So
they're
age
using their mind.
and fun.
Yes.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. They're using, see, the agility. She was able to beat those 10 and 12-year-olds, even still, as good as they are. So yes, and that is a perfect example of how we can keep our minds active. And, you know, as we age, we can stay agile physically and mentally. And I am complete.
Thank you. All righty. So family and Sahu speed and that Uno excitement. I was just watching on Instagram last week and I sent it to my peeps. There was it TikTok where, oh, actually, let me set the stage and say that it's Bernie Mac doing a whole piece about how he was invited to a card party by his nephew. And he said yes. And then when he got there, the fire department was there and the police. And they had the nephew in the back of a police car. And he was like, what happened? And the nephew was like, man, I'm sorry. We was playing Uno. And my girlfriend put 3 draw 4s down in a row. And he lost it. Well, she put them MF and draw 4s down. And I had to take 12 cards. And he saw guns blazing and fighting everybody. I was dying. I'm like, yeah, people don't play when it comes to these cards.
No,
they're losing their natural born minds. And it's Uno. There's no money in the stakes. It's supposed to be pure and adulterated fun, but folks don't play.
No. And we don't play. We take our cards so seriously.
Very seriously, man. Oh my God. I'll send you the clip if I could find it, Gina, of the crazy.
Yes, thank you.
Wait, send it to me. Send it to me.
Oh, I'll send it to you too. Oh, all right. So this is Gina's contact information. So you can be in touch with her about Sankofa Sojourns. So Gina, you want to say anything about your business? I know you have limited time, my love.
Yeah, actually, no, we travel, we transform, we're healing racial trauma. So join me on our next Sojourn. I'll be sharing it and I hope to see you there.
Awesome. Yes. And love offerings. This week has been so juicy, starting from Sahu Speed and then Asha and Martine and who was it, Kinyofu with the smoothies. Like, y'all keep hitting us and catching us off guard. We don't know what to expect, but we ask that you reciprocate, engage in money exchange, and money is currency, it's energy, and a current is something that carries through, creates the space for energy to be amplified, for things to be lit up. And so here we do that. So just asking for you to invest in a monthly giving to the Wake Up Everybody virtual community because of the exchange that we have. And this stuff that we've been doing for the last 2.5 years is worth millions of dollars. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, all that we've gotten is life transformative and has saved lives by people's own admission. So please give and use the links in the chat for Zoom or Facebook. And you want to announce our next facilitator?
Yes, yes. Join us tomorrow with Kyra Harris, the CEO of Keys to an Abundant Life. And her topic is going to be, wanna really be a boss? Because she's a boss. Wanna really be a boss? Healthy tips and tricks to get you there, part 2. So if you didn't see part 1, go back and find it, watch part 1, and get ready for part 2 tomorrow.
Excellent. All righty. I missed my Kyra in the space, so I'm really excited. So the Woo Nation welcomes all new members. I know Gina was about the business of inviting folks, her mom, and other folks in the space that may have been here one other time or 2 other times, and maybe for the first time today. We ask that you look at us as an extended family and come on back. Like, we embrace you immediately in the space, and we thank you for co-creating with us the laughter, the insight, the growth, the development, because we are here to learn, elevate, and ascend. And we welcome you to be the same and do the same. And our schedule, for those of you who don't know, we are here 5 days a week. Sorry about the noise. Sunday through Thursday. And on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, we have the extended session, 7 to 8:30. And on Monday and Wednesdays, we have the session from 7 to 7:30. Today we went longer because it was so juicy. And we invite you to, partake, and we send out e-blasts, but you have to, if you want to receive and be in the space, just register through our Woo registration process. And if you want to receive morning reminders, just type in 74121. You see it at the bottom of this slide. And this is just like a phone number, right? But it's an automated number. And then you type in the message box, Woo Nation capitalized, and you'll get automated texts messages each morning to get you in the space. We want to just announce that we have Woo swag. So if you haven't purchased, or you've purchased some but not all, that you can purchase something from the Woo swag store and get a journal, a mask, a tote bag, a laptop sleeve, a water bottle, a teacup, t-shirt, sweatshirt. So we rocking out and letting everybody who sees you know that you are waking up every day in different ways. And so we want to say thank you to our sister. She does have to go to work this morning. So we want to open up the space for us to start pouring into her by doing a love shower that only the Woo Nation can do and do well. So unmute yourselves, family, so that we can pour into our sister Gina.
Boat when suddenly
Thank
you. Welcome.
Thank
you, Gina. Love you, sis. Wonderful day.
Love it. This is so good.
Very, very, very informative.
You know
Very
what?
informative. Everybody have a
Go
great
back
day.
to
Best
you.
of the bestest of the
Always love y'all.
Thank you.